Okay? Sulforaphane, which studies at Johns Hopkins University suggest has a powerful anti-cancerous properties. So hey, 1 cup of broccoli a week is not going to kill you. It may just keep you alive. Eat it anyway. And I'm going to share some great recipes that I made for broccoli. Okay, kiwis. They're like bananas. These fuzzy fruit is high in bone protecting potassium. They're also rich in vitamin C, lutein, and also carotenoids that also help reduce the risk of heart disease. Try to at least eat 1 or 2 a week after exercising. Okay, and another thing you could do is you could freeze them as well. And it gives you, and also keep the skin on it. And it's edible and it's packed with nutrients. It's power packed with nutrients. Another thing that I do is I freeze bananas. And once you get into, taking some courses with me, you understand why I freeze them and what I do with the frozen bananas. Olive oil. The extra virgin variety is rich in beneficial monounsaturated fats. Its fatty acids and polyphenols reduce inflammation in cells and joints. A study in the journal Nature found that it's as effective as Advil as reducing inflammation. So somebody told you, okay, well, something, I've got some pain in my joints and stuff. Okay, so why not make a salad, and that salad is in the refrigerator and it's done with olive oil. That you're making actual natural vinaigrette. That you're making natural vinaigrette. And you're using some of the spices I'm telling you about. And then when you need a snack, you go in the refrigerator and you get it. So that's what I'm talking about. That type of lifestyle. You love your man, put a little extra energy in it. Come on in here and let me teach you some of the things we've been doing that's been helping my family for a long time. And I'm so excited about it. Now, here's something that I know the men's ears are going to be wide open about because we're almost through. Leeks, spelled Leeks, can support sexual functioning and reduce the risk of prostate cancer. According to Michael Dan Osinger, MD, Assistant Professor of Medicine and Obesity Researchers, Tufts New England Medical Center in Boston, chops the green part of a medium leek into thin ribbons and add it to your soup, your sautés, and salads as often as possible. These scallion-like cousins to garlic and onions are also packed with bone-bolstering thiamine, riboflavins, calcium, potassium. And they're also rich in folic acid and also vitamin B that studies have shown to lower the level of artery damage, amino acids, homocysteine in the blood. Woo-hoo. And the next one is going to be, this is also, before we even get to the next one, let me just tell you, this energy kick on this leeks. One thing you don't want to do is don't peel the skin. It's edible also, and it's packed with nutrients. So make sure that you take care of that. That's really important that when you're, really eating these type of vegetables. A lot of times they tell you to keep this peel on because a lot of stuff, there's more nutrients in the peel than actually on the inside. Now, we'll go over some of that stuff. We'll go over it later of how we do some of the things, some of the recipes, and how we prepare them and why we prepare them the way we prepare them. Artichokes, they're loaded for centuries as aphrodisiac. They've been known to be loaded for centuries and centuries as aphrodisiac. This fiber-rich plant contains more bone-building magnesium and potassium than any other vegetable on the planet. Its leaves are also rich in flavonoids and polyphenols. So if you were growing them, wouldn't you just take the leaves, let them dry up, and then turn around and, blend them to a powder, put it on your food? Antioxidants that could cut the risk of stroke is in these leaves and these polyphenols as a flavonoid. The vitamin C, which helps maintain the immune system, and you can eat them as often as you can. Right ones feel heavy for their size and squeaked when squeezed. So if you want a real good one, it should be heavy and it should squeak a little bit when you squeeze it. Yeah, listen to it good. Don't think I'm crazy, but let's get on with it. Chili peppers. Chili stimulate the metabolism, act as a natural blood thinner, and it also helps release endorphins. Plus, they're a great way to add flavor to food without increasing fat or calorie content. Chilies are also rich in beta-carotene, which turn into a vitamin A in the blood and fight infections, as well as capsaicin, which inhibits neuropeptides, chemicals that cause inflammation. A recent study in the journal Cancer Research found that hot peppers even have anti-prostate cancer properties. All this from a half a chili pepper or 1 tablespoon of chili flakes every day. So imagine having recipes around chili peppers, because you can. One thing that I'm looking into and I want to work on is I want to do a blend of tea which contains chili peppers. I want to do that. Something that you can drink to also go along with flavonoids from tea. And I'm working on it. Ginger. Contrary to popular belief, a piquant addition to so many Asian dishes isn't a root, it's a stem. It's not a root, it is a stem, but it gets thick, which means it contains living compounds that improve your health. Among this, one of the best things about it is also a gingerol, a cancer suppressor that studies have shown to be particularly effective against I'm just going to say effective against that of the colon. That's another word, but I'm not using it. Chop ginger or grind it fresh and add to soy marinated fish or chicken as often as you can. The more you can handle, the better. We do have some recipes around ginger as well, fresh ginger. And it's in some of the drinks that we're making. And it's not, the drinks that we're making, they're not actually smoothies. It's a different kind of drink. And it's to help you with weight management and also to help you with energy. Cinnamon, known for making dessert sweet and Indian food complex. Cinnamon is rich in antioxidants that inhibit blood clotting and bacterial growth, included in bad breath. So cinnamon is real good for people with bad breath. But sometimes you should also go to the doctor because it could be a problem with your teeth that you're having bad breath. Most of the times it is, or you may be sick. So you always have to stay on top of prevention, keeping your teeth cleaned, and also going to the doctor when you start to have symptoms. Don't wait until it's unbearable. Studies also suggest that it may help stabilize blood sugar, reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, says dietitian Nancy Clark. And Nancy Clark is the author, and she's into sports medicine. What's more, it may help reduce bad cholesterol. Try half a teaspoon a day in yogurt or oatmeal. Just let it, once you cook your oatmeal, then take a half a teaspoon and put it on top of your oatmeal, just like that, and just stir it up and eat it. Or just put your half a teaspoon in your yogurt. It's all kind of things that you could do. Okay, eggs. We're almost done. I'm so proud. We're almost done. Those who have eggs for breakfast lose 65% more weight than those who dine a bagel breakfast with the same number of calories. And this is my favorite, and I always cooking me some eggs. According to a study in the International Journal of Obesity, eat the yolk. Two recent studies have proven that fat in the yellow part is important to keep you satiated, and the benefits of its minerals and nutrient outweigh its cholesterol effects. So I'm always beating up some eggs and cooking them. And I always try, when my grandchildren come over, if they're over for the weekend, I always fix them a big breakfast, and I always make sure it has eggs in it. Always. Because you know what? We get down to the culture of things. We get down to the tradition of things, of breaking bread together, not walking and eating, sitting down together, having some of the most meaningful conversation at the breakfast table, dinner table, just taking some time and pouring into these babies, the loved ones. So my baby could be up here talking about, this is my second grandchild that I've had to come on the show and talk about what they want to do, how they want to change the world, what's important to them. You know what I'm saying? Dig into your family, your children, your lineage, pour into them, and pour into, just as I'm pouring into hopefully you and your family, and help you to create some healthy traditions. Let's keep this thing going. Don't make it whereas I'm just expending all this knowledge and taking this time and this energy, and then it just goes out the door. Get a pencil and paper and write something down and incorporate it somewhere. And if you don't feel you could do it on your own, then take up one of our training courses, whether it's 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. This one I'm going to do something in a big way inside the website, and I'll let you know when it's ready. And so figs, we're almost done. They're packed with potassium, manganese, and antioxidant. This fruit also helps support proper pH levels in the body, making it more difficult for pathogens to invade. Plus, the fiber in figs can lower insulin and blood sugar levels, reducing the risk of diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Select figs with dark skin. They contain more nutrients. Remember I told you about the darker the skin, the more redder, the more nutrients. And eat them alone or add them to trail mix. Woo-hoo. Grass-fed beef. Nothing beats pure protein when it comes to building muscle. The problem with most store-bought beef, however, is the majority of cattle are grain-fed, which gives their meat a relatively high ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. That, in turn, contributes to inflammation. Fatty acids in grass-fed beef, on the other hand, are skewed towards omega-3 varieties. Such beef also contains conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, which studies have shown help reduce belly fat and build lean muscle. So make sure that I guess I would say for people, and this is something that my family had done for years. And so, hi, baby. Speaking of my husband. And you want to say hi? No? You're so bashful? Come on, babe. Say hi. Come over here and say hi. Now this has turned to a family thing.
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
This is my husband, Keith Torrance, and so he knows this episode is really about him and the men in the world, and what my grandbaby said, that she wants to help the men live longer, the grandfathers, the uncles, the brothers, the men in the world, and she wants them to be around so she can love them and take care of them. So this is dedicated to the men in the world. Come on, men. And so when you buy your beef, wouldn't it be beautiful if you could go and buy your cow, frozen cow, and you'd be able to ask the meat packer, what type of beef is this? Is this one grass-fed? And you don't even have to tell them why you're asking. You want to know more. You could just go in as a consumer and read about their processes for the meat. What type of cows that if you eat beef, if you eat meat, if you're eat meater, eat the best meat for your body. Don't just go be buying beef and just be buying any kind of meat. Because guess what? When you do go and buy a cow, you get a lot more meat for the price. When you go and buy a half a cow, a whole cow, you're going to have so much meat it's going to be ridiculous. So that's something for you to think about as well. Mushrooms. Whew. Mushrooms. They're delicious when added to brown rice. Reiki mushrooms like shiitake mushrooms, maitake mushrooms are rich in antioxidants. Okay? And they're also, there's something in them that protects the cells. It's called ergothioneine. And these cell protectors are from abnormal growth and replication. In short, they reduce the risk of cancer. Who recommends this? Bowerman says they recommend a half a cup once or twice a week. Cooking them in red wine, I don't know about that, which contains resveratrol, magnifies their immunity boosting power. So say, for instance, okay, so I know you're saying, okay, so how are we cooking them? Okay, so say, for instance, that you have some meat and you're cooking it, and then you want to saute the meat in red wine, and then you want to add the mushrooms to it. Okay, so this is a great way to be able to do this. Or say, for instance, that you want to, just warmly, want to cook it real hard, and you just warmly want to like pour this over as it's done and just let it saute. That's what I would do. But I'm not a big beef eater, but that's what I would do. So I would just saute and I would pour it over after I've cooked it and let it just saute there with the mushrooms and just have this as a topping. And so, because sometimes when you cook your foods, you lose a lot of the potency. So that's something for you to think about. Pineapples. We are almost done. When there's a potent mix of vitamins, antioxidants, and enzymes, in particular bromelain, pineapples is all. And so this is one of my favorites too, pineapples. And it's an all-body anti-inflammation cocktail. It also protects against colon cancer, arthritis, and macular degeneration. And so what I do is I go to the store and I get my pineapples fresh. I don't buy any pineapples in the can. And what I do is when I go to the store and I get my pineapples fresh, I literally cut them up. And, I peel them. I cut it's a real thick hull to them. And I cut it off. And then I go and cut the core. I slice them up, cut the core out of them. And next thing I do is I put them in the freezer. and then I'm making my smoothies. Or say, for instance, if I'm going to cook something with pineapples, I'm going to have fresh. I want to have fresh because I want to know that I'm consuming the more healthier pineapples. And that's important for you to understand.